summer. So please make sure that you stop by any of our branches.
Do we have sip and pay also?
And that is right. For those of you who love Chelsea will be back this summer doing sip and paint at 3 of our locations, I believe, and maybe 4, maybe 6. I don't know. But you got to check. Okay, I know she'll be here at headquarters 3 times. So 3 times at headquarters library. I know she'll be over at Morrow. So listen, sip and paint will be on deck. Okay. And so I did something. I made a little phone call. And I partnered with our Parks and Recs department. And we will be having not 1, but 2 parking lot movies on the Jumbotron at the headquarters library on Tuesday. So woo! So look, when they tell me I can do things, I like taking them around. So a round of applause for our management team because they do an amazing job letting me be free. So I believe that is all the announcements that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and take it over to our amazing director Scott Parham.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How about you?
I'm great. Happy June.
Happy June. Happy June. Thank you all for attending as always, and those that are viewing us online. Good morning. Good morning. We usually start this episode or the episodes out by responding to any questions that have been submitted online. So do we have any questions or anything that I need to address?
We don't have any questions, but I have one comment that I wanted to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
So you know how we got those 5 splash passes?
Yes, I was going to mention that.
They're done. We don't have them? All
We
of
don't
them
have is that they're all checked out.
They're all checked out.
We knew that would happen.
So for those who are just tuning in or who don't know, we have partnered with our Parks and Recreation Department, and we have Spivey Splash Passes. That's a mouthful, right? And so at all of our branches, including headquarters library, we have passes that enable a family up to 4 to attend the Splash Park free of charge. And so, as Kim mentioned, all of the passes that we have or that are in our possession are currently checked out. So don't wait till the end of the summer to try to get them. As soon as they get returned and checked back in, check one of our branches and get your passes. All right.
Did you tell them that they're available at all the branches?
I think I did, but if I didn't, yes, they're available at all of our locations, all 6. All right. So if there are no additional questions, I think what we're going to do is just jump on into our special guest today. For those of you who follow us monthly, I bring in folks who have rich information, valuable information for our community. And today is no different than any other. And so this morning, I would like to introduce Ms. Nicole McDowell, and I will let her give her title and introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. As Mr. Parham has stated, Nicole McDowell. I'm with Clayton County Public Schools, and I'm the program administrator for our adult education program.
Very
and
nice.
Thank you so much for having me. I love the energy.
Oh, yes.
Like, woo!
And so, as Nicole mentioned, we have been partners for a while now.
Yes.
And so what we're going to do this morning is
Someone is going through, and oftentimes you find, I would say with my experience in dealing with adult ed, very highly intelligent people. In addition to, I don't know if people really understand that GED test, that's difficult.
it is.
If you ask me to take that math test right now, I'm gonna have to sit in a couple classes because it's everything that you learn in high school. You don't know what the questions will be. So problem solving, comprehension, those skills that we look at basic but are complex, because you have to retain that information or go back into your schema and say, oh, I remember the Kansas-Nebraska Act or onomatopoeic expression, whatever it may be, So to add to that, to have the library as a safe space for the community and to be able to provide GED here, anytime we come into something in this uncharted waters, you need to have that welcoming feel. And I know For me, when I come in, everybody's speaking to me. I feel like a superstar when I come to the library. Thank you so much. But I know that the students that are coming here for those services, they feel the same way. The support that you provide for our staff here, you know, it's like we're family, you know, and it just naturally merged together. So thank you for that.
Sure, sure. Let's jump into some statistics.
Okay.
Can you provide some statistics for adult literacy and the number of adults that are pursuing a GED?
I'll keep it specific to the county.
Okay.
The 2021 census for Clayton County indicated that approximately 30,000 residents do not have their high school diplomas. In regards to the age,
30,000?
30,000. So that's 15% of the population
Okay.
do not have their high school credentials. The largest age group is the 45 to 64. In our program, we have students from ages 16. Our oldest student is 74 years old. Yes, yes.
Outstanding.
And I feel like this is going to be her year. So we host 2 graduations in June and in December. And I'm looking forward to her crossing that stage by December. So, yeah.
Huge milestone.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Great. So is there a cost factor for anyone who wants to obtain their GED?
So yes and no.
Okay.
And I say yes because each test is $46. So the total cost for all 4 tests is $184.
Okay.
We have been blessed to, we've been provided with a grant from Georgia Power. This year, the grant will end, it was for 2 years, and it covers the cost of this, all the students' tests. So our program for the last 2 years, there have not been any costs. Our classes have always been free,
Okay.
but the testing, so we're 100% grant funded through Technical College System of Georgia.
Okay.
And as part of the, with the grant, you can't pay for anything with the testing, all the other services we can provide. So that opportunity, I say blessing to have those funds available. It takes some of that angst off of students because times are hard for people. $46, that's somebody's groceries for them and their children, you know?
Sure.
And to take a test, you don't know if you're gonna pass or fail it, and you spend $46 and it $184, and let's say you have to take a test 3 times, I mean, that's a lot of money for people.
It is.
Correct, yes. And then the other thing I'll add too, just to add to that, with easing the angst, test anxiety is real. You know, I'm nervous about taking this test, and then I have to go and take my money as well. So that has really helped our program and been beneficial to the staff and the students.
Great. Piggybacking off what you just mentioned about the test taking anxiety. If there's folks out there watching or even here in the building who are listening and who are kind of on the fence, should I, maybe I'm too old, or maybe I don't retain stuff as well as I used to, or I've got children, or I've got, you know, a marriage, and I just can't commit or devote the time. What would your advice be to them? What would you say to them?
The biggest obstacle for them to get over is just to take that step. And I use blessing a lot because it has been a blessing. The staff that I work with, we're nurturers by nature. I think we all just come together and do whatever we can to support students. And one big push that since I've been in adult ed with this team is it's all about creating a calm. And like I stated before, the welcoming environment here, that helps create that calm. With our testing center, so we're a national testing site. I don't know if anyone knows that, but Clayton County Public Schools is a national testing site. So let's say you started your program in Oregon, and you happen to be visiting and you feel the need to come take your math GED test. Well, you can come to our site and schedule and take that test because we're a national testing site. And we also offer testing on Saturday. We're realistic to our demographics and the population that we serve.
Okay.
You know, and to ask someone to come in and take a day off of work, that's a lot. So we offer testing on Saturdays. The month of June, we actually offer testing every Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So creating that calm is really important. And then the other thing too is to realize I'm a visual learner. I didn't stop being a visual learner because I turned 18. So those learning styles, they never change. So we've been big on our staff development with making sure that we're providing those instructional strategies that supports our students' need based upon their individual learning styles. The other thing is too, is making sure that we provide differentiated instruction because we have students that may have a skill set at a 6th grade level, but then you have some students that are much more advanced. So we're cognizant and mindful of all of those things.
And I think it's very nice that the classes are being held here in the library,
Yes.
where literacy is so very important and valuable. We got thousands and thousands of resources available here. So again, if they're having issues in the classroom, they can do a step outside the door, and another set of support for those students is available.
And a key success to that, like I stated before, the blessing with the staff, is Ms. Walker does a phenomenal job. And her demeanor just supports creating a calm because she's always even keeled, just cool and easygoing.
Absolutely. And I'm going to steal that phrase, creating the calm.
Thank you.
I love it. Yes. Sherry, put them next down.
You see my superstar moment? I gotta keep coming back. I love it, right?
So let's pivot.
Okay.
Let's pivot to the other portion of the partnership, the ESL classes.
Right.
Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
So we also offer ESL classes for students.
Right.
So that's creating them to improve upon their English speaking skills and also to not assimilating, but integrating into the community.
Okay.
We have a large Haitian population, and Hispanic population, and African and Vietnamese. Those are our 4 top populations that we serve within the ESL program.
Okay.
So we teach reading, writing, comprehension skills for our students, and also connecting them with resources. And we know, like I stated before, library is, you say the library, just, you know, it's like the library, like we all grew up like, go to the library, you know, it's common. And they can come into a community organization like the library and not only get those classes, but also resources. You all do things with SNAP and other different events to support families and residents in the community.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And again, my question is the cost factor for the ESL classes.
100% free.
100% free. So the classes for again, English as a second language for anyone out there listening, watching, in the building, please, if you're on that fence, just take a step.
Just take a step.
Take
in.
that step over.
Yep.
Wonderful. What initiatives, no, I'm gonna come back to that question. Are there other services that the adult learning programs in your office provide or support?
We do. We provide, it's called integrated educational training, so it's vocational training.
Okay.
And students go through vocational training within our program, and they actually leave with credentials, workforce credentials. We had partnered with Atlanta Regional Commission last year. We were the first public school district in the state to partner with them with this welding lab. So they brought this unit on our campus, and 7 of our students earned their welding credentials. Out of those 7 students, 5 of them have employment, their GED and employment. We partner with Construction Ready. So we've had students go through and get their OSHA training and construction credentials, and they're in employment. We partner with Georgia Power, not only for the grant, but we created what's called the YES program. And it's the first one that's been done in a public school district, and it's called You Are Skilled and You Are Employed and Skilled. And so we did it every quarter. This was the first year, and students learned those soft skills that they need to go into for the interview with Georgia Power, the union, and Atlanta Gas. We had one particular student that's been highlighted, had a really difficult past. He, was in the prison system. He shared a story publicly, so I feel like he'd be comfortable with me sharing. Had been shot, had some struggles, completed his GED program, went through the YES program, and that young man now is going to be working for Georgia Power.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then our new initiative, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're doing medical billing and coding.
Okay.
So students will leave with their medical billing and coding, and one of our teachers actually works, she's part-time, and she works in the medical industry. And the first thing she said is, "Oh, I can get him a job." And I'm like, "Okay, yes, ma'am, you're hired."
There you go. Nice, nice. And if anyone is familiar with welders and how much welders make,
It really is. It's life-changing, and that's what we talk about with improving the quality of life. you get your high school diploma, but now you can provide for your family. That's building wealth,
Absolutely.
generational wealth. In addition to the resources, different programs for housing, and we talk about pensions. I remember going into a class and I said something about, I was making a joke. It was a younger student. I was like, no, you're going to get this high school diploma because I need my social security stuff. Let's get you out there, buddy. I've been doing this a long time. And I said retirement and pension. And I remember some of the students looking like pension. I said, y'all don't know what a pension is? I was like, oh, there's another class on financial literacy. So we do a number of things to support our students. So it's a complete wraparound program.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. What initiatives or actions should the county as a whole, and I'm not talking just about the school system or the library system, but are there initiatives that Clayton County and the Board of Commissioners could take to help advance what you do?
I'm just sharing the word and putting it out there. I came up with this slogan of educate Clayton.
Okay.
Like really putting it out there. 30,000 residents without their high school credentials.
That's huge.
That's
huge.
huge. And if you think about the advancement of the community and everything that's in place with the housing that's being built and the different businesses that are coming to the county, just think about Airtropolis. We're a part of that. We're educating our own residents. Well, guess who's working? They're thriving in their own community. So sharing that word and just really, we have to educate our entire community, not just K-12, but our adult learners as well.
Agreed. So are there any upcoming events or programs that you would like to highlight?
Well, one is our district's Back to School Bash, which is July 26th.
Okay.
And I say blessing again because our board, Clayton County Public Schools Board, and our superintendent, they strongly support the adult education program. There are a total of 4 school districts that have adult learning within the state under the technical college system of Georgia. And I feel comfortable in saying, I feel like my superintendent is really like boots on the ground. He understands and he's sharing the information. Board members come to me and they ask, like, what more can we do to help support adult education? So all of the school events we're a part of, and we're giving out information. So our Back to School Bash, and then last year, the adult education program, we hosted the first annual family literacy event because it's about educating our students, but being mindful of where they are in life, because some students are struggling with literacy. And so you want to give them those strategies to help support them, but not minimalizing, that they're an adult. So what we did is we said, okay, we partnered with our early learning program with Clayton County Public Schools, and we asked for them to do sessions on how do you support your child's at-home learning? Well, we're showing them how to support their children. Well, guess what? They pick up on strategies that they can support themselves, and keeping it at a level where it's not making them feel less than, or I want to say like watering it down, so to speak.
Right.
So the Back to School Bash, we'll have the family literacy event. That'll be in October. We'll have more details to share on that. The adult education program, we're year round. So we somewhat follow the calendar of the school district, but we really don't have the summers off. We have 1 week off for when the district is closed. It's the first week in July. And then the second week, we have professional development just for adult learning. Our classes start in July. So July 14th, our classes start over and our students go all through the year. So our registration will pick back up on July 14th. We have a pause right now because we're closing out the school year. So July 14th, come in, get registered at the Perry Learning Center. We do in-person registration. We don't turn anybody away. We need you to get there in a timely manner, but if you're a few minutes late, my staff knows, like, we don't turn people away. Let's find a way to make it happen.
Okay.
Expect to be there 2 to 3 hours because students do have to test the TABE test. The TABE test is like maybe 2 to 3 hours. And it's not a pass or fail. That test is just for us to see like where our students' skill
Is it
sets
like an
are.
assessment test?
It's an assessment
Okay.
test, exactly. And we'll know what class to start them in first.
Great.
So July 14th, that'll occur. July 26th, our Back to School Bash. And then our fall family literacy event that'll be coming in October.
Wonderful. And I'm just envisioning another opportunity for expanding our partnership.
Yes.
So we have partnered with GLS, which is the entity in the state, part of the state library that provides accessibility services to the blind, hearing disabled.
Okay.
And one of the statistics thrown out was that, let's just say of the 30,000 in our county that don't have their high school diploma, 40% of those incarcerated probably have some type of disability.
Mhm.
And so thinking of that population that you serve, the population that's already struggling, and again, how can we provide services for all? And so we partnered with GLS to have their summer, what is it, Sherry?
Summer reading.
They have a summer reading program as well, and we are hosting the finale at our Northwest branch for the GLS services.
Okay.
And so let's talk offline
Yeah, let's
about
do
how
that.
we can do that.
Right,
So
let's do that.
absolutely.
And can I add to that too? I don't know if everyone's aware. We are here at the library, we provide services. Also at the Perry Learning Center, so that's our central location. We provide GED services in Lovejoy Correctional Facility as well.
Okay.
And we have a high success rate of students completing their GED within the correctional facility. We also have classes at Forks Park High School during the traditional school year in the evening, and also at another location in Riverdale as well.
Wonderful.
Our Sonora Shoulder, yes.
Wonderful.
So, but looking to expand, yeah.
Hey, we'll talk.
offline.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, that's all the questions that I had specifically for our portion. Are there any questions from the audience or any questions coming online?
I have one question. Why are y'all stopping this conversation? Because I'm being fueled by it. I do have one question. What is the age limit for the welding program and the YES program?
Well, with the YES program, to get employment with like Georgia Power, the union, you have to be 18 as well with the welding. So students have to be 18 and older.
Okay.
And I just want to say this one thing. I know this may be a TMI. My first husband was a welder. And listen,
That's
when
why
I
you're
say-
driving that Jaguar. Is that why?
But I just want to tell people, listen, that welder check allowed me to bank every check I made. I didn't have to spend none of my own money because I was married to a welder. And he only spent 2 of his checks to take care of our household, insurance, everything. And he had 2 checks to himself. So if you're interested in being a welder, the money alone
Right.
is enough to say, I'm gonna do that.
But then also too,
Right.
if you think about it, I mean, you start off as a welder, and this is, so at one point in time, I had another life too. My husband and I, we owned a construction company. And even sharing with students non-union versus union and the benefits that you have with that. And you think about it, let's say 21, I know one of our students was 21. You leave that program and you making $60,000, $70,000 a year. I mean, no, and nothing against, different pathways. So I'm not knocking anything with college, but it's not for everyone. And you have to think about the financial implications of that. You're coming in, you're able to help provide for your family, as well as for yourself. And then what I was sharing with the students, okay, I tell everybody this, don't think just I need to go in and work this job. You work this job, put you a 5-year plan in place, and then you think about how you're gonna go to the next step. Then I want you to think about how you're gonna open up your own welding company, and you're gonna be that entrepreneur. So we really pour into our students, but thank you that's a great point, because it's a good career to go into, and there's different pathways you can take just from starting off as a welder. You can go into other sectors as well.
Very nice. Very nice. Any additional questions, comments? Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Hall.
Yes, this is great. I don't know if you have the answer available. What is the potential income earnings based on non-GED and GED?
If I remember correctly, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know we have some posters somewhere that tells, I don't know why I feel like it's like some, over the lifetime of earning, it's like $1 million or something like that, where you miss out on that, but just by not having your high school diploma. But that's a lifetime. But I bet you after this, I'm gonna know that answer.
Great question.
Thank
Great
you.
question. Yeah. And it just highlights the importance of getting that over that first hurdle, because we also know that learning is lifelong,
Right.
whether it's structured or not. And so it's that first step.
You know, I was just telling a young lady, actually on Friday, she had her last GED test to take. And I remember when I was coming up, now I'm aging myself, you know, knowledge is power. Remember Schoolhouse Rock used to come on and they used to have all those little sayings, and you'd have knowledge is power, and the United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Right. And I was telling her, these were the things that we heard all of the time. But at the time, you just like, you know, you're getting through life, having a good time. But now that I think about it, and I was sharing with her because she was nervous, I said, you have it. Her scores were high when she took her tape. I said, you are highly intelligent and very bright. And I told her about knowledge is power and a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And what I shared with her, and I used to share this with my students as well, once you learn something, nobody can ever take that away from you. That's that power. Like nobody can ever take that away unless you get traumatic brain injury, God forbid, or you pass. Then, you know, you in heaven with it, or where, you know. But nobody can take that away from you. And it, like I said before, it opens up so many doors. So just, you know, empowering students and sharing those messages. And like I was telling her, I said, you got this. You got this.
Yeah.
Just go in and relax, creating that calm. And, you know, and guess what? She passed the test and she's going to walk across the stage. June 11th is our graduation, by the way.
Wonderful.
Should probably share that as a little bit, right?
Absolutely. And I think back to your point, confidence.
Right.
That confidence that you can do it is a major, major role as well. You can do it.
And right, and believing in yourself, but sometimes we have to believe in others until they can believe in themselves.
Exactly.
Because we all have it. It's just how do we cultivate that and nurture it.
True. Very true. Anything else?
As far as questions, no, we don't have any questions. That was a very detailed thing.
I'm enjoying this conversation. So
I am too.
what you
know
got?
what? I got to keep sit up a little straighter because you all in my
What we got?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yes.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. I see the passion.
Oh, thank you.
You are in the right place at the right time, connecting with the right institution, our extraordinary library system. And I want to thank you because it just oozes out what you're doing. And I appreciate you so much.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
So just to recap real quick,
Yes.
they can come, sign up at the Perry Learning Center for
Yes.
GED or ESL
Correct.
and not pay any money.
No money.
Okay.
Mondays and Wednesdays, starting at 9:00. Be prepared to be there 2 to 3 hours. We do registration, orientation, and then the testing.
Okay. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
I have an announcement, but other than that,
Please. Yes.
This week,
Yes.
the bookmobile will be at South Clayton and Flint River Recreational Centers.
Okay.
So I would like to say, if you see the bookmobile outside, take a picture
Take a picture.
with it and tag us on Instagram and Facebook.
Very nice.
Beep, beep, where to?
Beep, beep. Thank you, Kim. Well, if there are no further questions or comments, thank you all so much again. Thank you, Nicole, for
Thank
being
you
on.
for having me.
Oh, it's been delightful.
I appreciate
Been
it.
delightful.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you same time next month. We got something special next month, though. We won't be here at headquarters. We're going to be filming at the Northwest branch, and we're going to have cookout. So in conjunction with Marcus on the Grill. I think we need to call this cookout with the librarian for next.
Library.
Yes.
So we can set up a GD class.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So next month, stay tuned. We will be at Northwest. We'll be broadcasting live again, but we will have a cookout and celebrating the summer. So we invite everyone to come, and we look forward to seeing you all then.
Thank you.
Until then, have a fantastic June. Be safe, stay hydrated, and thank you again for tuning in. Bye.